work at this time of night. I told him that I'm not going to miss work to do this stuff. He's like, well, I could probably find a way to pay you. So
Probably not.
let's hope. So, but yeah, probably not. I do not. Who got that player now? Fucking things are tangled up.
Yours are 3 better.
You have one.
Piece of shit, I had to miss class, had to work on it today.
Bro. He never is in comp theory.
No, I mean, he's probably, is he in there less than I am?
Yes.
Hey, Tim. Is it alright if I unplug this for a second to get these things untangled?
Yeah. So one thing, remember, you're the natural sound camera.
Okay.
So when we go down to the court for national anthem, etc., it's going to be coming off your camera.
Okay.
So just be aware of that. You can't say anything.
Okay. Perfect. I'll try to keep my wisecracks to myself.
And down here, like when someone's serving, you want to try to get a tight shot of them, but then just follow the action that you're saying. Sound good? Yep. stand. They don't come in front of the camera.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's in the exact same formation as this one, but when you stand the same way, it blocks out the left side. It's like a loop around. It is just me moving.
They don't walk.
This is Bethel College Volleyball, live on the Bethel Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bethel Sports Network. I'm Ethan Klein. I'm here with Josh Rodak. We'd like to welcome you into Goodman Gymnasium tonight for some Bethel College Volleyball. We got your Bethel College Pilots taking on the visiting Taylor Trojans. Josh, why don't you let the fans at home kind of know what they should expect out of their team tonight?
Well, Ethan, I believe this is going to be one of the strongest games of the season considering we've already lost. However, we are tied currently for the standings. I believe if we use our strongest players, we may come out with a win tonight and be very successful in moving to the top of the conference.
Josh mentioned the standings. If you look up here, we have our standings as a graphic for you. Bethel currently sitting third. Taylor just behind them by a half game. So this game is critical as far as the conference tournament. You want to get that home game. You want to have home court advantage early rounds of the conference tournament. Pilots still have that potential. Now, Josh, why don't you give us your keys to the game tonight? What do the Pilots have to do to flip it around? Like you mentioned, they lost to Taylor last time we played them.
Well, overall, we have some of the best hitters in the conference. So I think if we set up our hitters really good on the outside and we get some good hits down, we're going to come out with a stronger lead right at the beginning. And if we can stay good at the beginning and keep flowing to the top, we're going to lead to the very end with a good end.
Well, sounds good, Josh. I hope they can do that for us tonight. I hope we can pull out that victory, get that critical win as we move towards the conference tournament. Now we're going to throw it down to the public address announcer and the national anthem. Folks, welcome back here on the Bethel Sports Network. As we said, we got your Bethel College Pilots and your Taylor Trojans here tonight. Real quick, Josh, before the action gets going, give me your key player tonight, your player that you think is going to make the impact for the Pilots.
Well, tonight I believe that Sammy Leach will definitely be the most outstanding player of the night, considering her past weeks as the star Crossroads League's player and her past week as the NCAA Crossroads League. I believe if she stands out, we will come out with a victory again. What about you?
I'm going to go a little off the beaten path. I'm going to take Haley Brown. I know she's injured, but I think she's a leader on this team. I think the voice off the bench can be just as important as anybody on the court, so I'm going to pick the leadership on the bench, even with the injury, to help the Pilots through this tough one tonight.
Very good choice.
As we get going here, Taylor's going to serve first. Our first set, here we go. Serving for the Trojans is number 12, Julia Fahey. And Veronica Dabrowski gets them started off in a big way. 1-0 Pilots. Aaron Carlos going to be serving for the Pilots now, up 1-0. Short serve. And the call is out. That point's going to go to the Pilots. So, Josh, why don't you give us just some keys? You touched on it in the pregame, but just some things you want to see the Pilots doing that you think gives them the best chance to win tonight.
Well, like I said before, if we can make sure we're not playing sloppy and we can control the ball from our bump to our set and our hit, I believe that we are going to go strong. I also think that if we can make sure our outsides in the back can hit it to the center, we will definitely come out with a good outcome.
And that ball sails wide again, so it's going to be now 3-1 to the Pilots. Into the game, Katie Easter and Cassandra Williams. A couple freshmen for the Pilots. Easter going to be on the serve. Miscommunication on that hit from Sammy Leach. It falls short. 3-2 now. Now something like that, is that something Sammy needs to let someone else get that? What was the situation there?
Well, that's one of those balls when it comes over. It could be the setters, it could be your DS. No matter where the ball is at in that situation, it can be very tricky. So I can understand a mess up like that, but we can learn from it and definitely move on towards a better outcome next time that happens.
In the meantime, a big hit from Becca Gehrig ties the game up at 3. And now the libero, Alex Reel, to serve. And Cassie Sears puts it home to give the Pilots the lead. Peyton Anderson serving for the Pilots. A little wide from Williams. Nice play by Sammy Leach. She goes for that quick hit, and I've seen her do that plenty of times this season. Why don't you talk a little bit about some of the advantages that and how she is so good at that. I've never seen anybody really do it quite like Sammy Leach does.
Well, because Leach can do that, we can definitely mess up the other team's approach to what they're going to do next, considering they're looking for that third hit most of the time, and she can trick them out with that. It's very impressive.
Right there, a nice play from Garrick yet again. She's going to get the serve for the Trojans. There it is again, no communication on that one. It falls short for the Pilots and it costs them a point. And the Trojans give a point right back. Libero Kristen Mitchell to serve now. And a big hit from number 14, Rachel Buma. She puts that one home and gives the Trojans the lead. Nice save by Remy Swoverlin. And that one's going to be out of bounds off the Pilots, a 2-point lead for the Trojans. Serving now Haley Harrell, a freshman. And Dombrowski hits it a little long. That's 4 straight points for the Trojans. And there's that quick hit we talked about from Sammy Leach, getting them back going in the right direction. She's going to go back to serve now. And the serve is long. Maybe Josh, comment a little bit. A lot of times, maybe the fans at home will see this if we ever get an angle of it, but the coach will be giving different signals. It will be a 1 through 5 usually is the signal that he's giving the server. Maybe talk about what that means, what they're doing when they give that signal as the point goes to the Trojans.
Well, on the other side of the court, they have these zones that the coach wants them to serve to most times because he can see an open spot, or he believes if they serve that spot, they'll come out with a good ace or a quick point. So his job is just to call it out to the server.
Good save there by the Trojans to get it back over. And a big kill for the Trojans there. They now lead 12-7, and Coach Kevin Ulmer wants a timeout to talk to his girls. Josh, what are you seeing right now? What do the Pilots need to change coming out of this timeout, get the points going back in their favor?
Overall, they're playing okay. However, I believe they need to have more blockers going up for those spikes on the other side. They're hitting it really hard. Taylor's doing really good at that tonight. And we need to make sure we're getting up on our feet and being really quick.
Maybe talk about what's the dynamic of the blocking scheme in general, because sometimes you'll leave someone alone. Maybe do you always want 2 people? Is there an advantage to having 1 person out there just because there's a lot of movement up front?
Well, usually you can tell by the placement of where they're at, whether you need 1 or 2. It's always good to have 2. You're able to lay it down to the ground. However, it's not always easy to get 2 people off the ground and at least an open spot in the corner somewhere. So you just got to be strategic about it and talk to each other. You got to communicate really good. Another thing, we've been lacking a little too much tonight.
We'll reset here coming out of the first timeout from the Pilots. It's 12-7 in favor of Taylor. First set. On to serve for Taylor is Julia Fahey, a senior out of Davenport, Iowa. Short serve got by Mitchell, and it's sent right back by Casey Allen. Not the way the Pilots wanted to start coming out of a timeout. Good effort by Mitchell to get a hand on that one. Just couldn't keep it in bounds for Sammy Leach. And the Pilots are now in their biggest deficit of the night, 14-7. Short serve. Oh, wow. Just hit the net, got it over. Swoverland got there, but couldn't get it up to one of her teammates. The Pilots need a spark right now. The kill attempt from Wolfenbarger there hit the antenna. That is out. And this time the serve goes into the net. So Pilots catch a break. We'll see if they can use that to their advantage. Facing an 8-point deficit here in the first set. Swoverland and Dombrowski going to come out. Aaron Carlos in to serve. Carlos' serve just clears the net. And that'll get the Pilots back in the right direction. Zoe Wolfenbarger, the junior out of Las Vegas, Nevada. The big hit there gets this to a 7-point game. Just like that, the serve is going to go back to the Trojans. Wide right for Aaron Carlos.
You know, you can lose a game really quick if your serves aren't staying in.
And that's called out by the line judge. Another point to the Trojans. It seems early on a lot of these points that the Pilots are giving up seem to be unforced errors.
Right, this is simple things that can correct so easily. We just got to make sure we're using our balance and aiming really good when we hit that ball. Just like that right there.
Another big hit from Wolfenbarger. She's been really huge this year for the Pilots, stepping up in her junior season. A couple big hits and that time in. And Katie Easter, the freshman, back on to serve for the Pilots. Short serve. And a big block, saved by the Trojans. And that time they get it to go home. You talked about the openings in the different zones, but maybe what's the big advantage to that short lob serve instead of just going up there every time and just killing it as hard as you can?
When you do that, usually your back row gets that first hit, or your libero will get that first hit. So when you do it real short, then you have to run up, and it kind of confuses the team, makes them run in circles and get bunched up. So that can be very, very beneficial to the Bethel team tonight.
It's now a 10-point deficit for the Pilots. Cassie Sears puts one home. Could that be the play that sparks them back in this first set? It seems every time they've had one of those, the Trojans have had an answer. Can they get on a roll? That's out on the Trojans. Back-to-back points from the Pilots, and that time you saw what communication can do. They were talking. Cassie Sears had a big save.
Absolutely.
They forced the error on the Trojans this time versus having one themselves.
Absolutely. That was a great volley. I'd like to see more of that.
Well, off-balance hit there, and Sammy Leach finds a hole in the defense. And a timeout by Taylor. A little run for the Pilots, trying to get some momentum going back their way. And that's huge, especially in a sport like this. It's so back and forth all the time, so quick hitting. You want that momentum in your favor. What'd you see there those last couple plays that got it going back for the Pilots?
I've seen a lot of focus with that. I've seen the girls communicating and talking to each other, letting them know if it's going outside, if it's staying on the inside. I also seen that the back row is stepping up big time and making sure the balls were nice and high, good for the setter to keep it up. So overall, and I did see Cassie Sears step up really good for that hit, and definitely beneficial to the team. I think it's going to lead us to a good victory maybe for this game.
Of course, with there being potentially 5 sets in a volleyball match, it's not so much that they're in a dire situation, they have to win this one, but you want momentum. If you can't take this one, you want to be able to go into the second set knowing you have some things working for you and then get going later on.
Yeah, definitely. We don't want anything to tear us down or make us feel like we're at a loss for this this match. For surely this is not the end at all. Even if we win or lose, Taylor and Bethel are a very good team, so we may go into 5 sets and it'll be a very good game.
Peyton Anderson on to serve for the Pilots. Coming out of the timeout, it's 20-13. First set, Trojans lead. And they got up to block it, but they couldn't get it back. It goes out of bounds off the Pilots.
A strong block, just got to make sure you keep those hands up in the air and make sure you push that ball back down.
Number 6, Maggie Williamson to serve for the Trojans. And a big hit from Cassandra Williams. Deflects out of bounds off of the Trojans. Pilots are going to get the serve right back, and it's going to be freshman Remy Swoverlin. Block back to him. Mitchell got it. Williams got it back over. Got quick hit from Sammy Leach again. It's the 4th time that's worked for her tonight. It gets this back to a 7-point deficit. And that lands in for the Trojans. Now 23-15, 2 points from a first set victory is Taylor. Served right into the net, so serve back to the Pilots. Sammy Leach to serve this one. And right to the feet of number 7, Alex Reel. Nobody really reacted to that one. A little confusion there by Taylor, and it gives Bethel another point. Nice save by Swoverlin. And a big hit right into the corner. Very nice play there by the Pilots. Get the deficit down to 5. That will be another point for the Pilots. The kill went right into the top of the net and did not make it over, and that's going to be a timeout for Taylor. So the Pilots, here we go, getting right, trying to creep back into it. It seems this whole entire set, they've almost been back into it. Taylor's had an answer this time. They've got it down to 4. What do they need to do to try to win this set?
Well, if they keep playing exactly how they're doing, we might see an upset for Taylor for this set. I do think that the outsides are stepping up a lot stronger than they were at the beginning of the game, and they're definitely killing things like they were at the beginning of the game.
we'll see how that works out for the Pilots and for Taylor. Last time the Pilots got on a good roll, timeout called by Taylor. Coach coached them up. They came out and they kind of quieted the Pilots down. So here we go again. We'll see how the teams come out of this timeout. And always a critical first set. You always want to get off on the right note. You want to get that first victory. It takes 3 to win the entire thing, and you don't ever want to start from behind. And especially in the situation that Taylor's in, they've had a huge lead this entire time. You don't want to blow a big lead and then have to fight your way back the rest of the match. So this is a critical point early on, I think, for both sides. As we reset, we've been saying this is the first set for those of you just joining us. Taylor leading 23-19. The Pilots just trying to make a comeback. They've trailed for most of this set, at times by double digits. It's going to be Sammy Leach to serve it for the Pilots. And a big block, and that's a point for the Pilots. Veronica Dabrowski, Zoe Wolfenbarger getting tall, knocking it back. It's a 3-point game.
See, that's a moment where we can see where that double blocking can definitely come in handy.
And that'll drop in the corner, and it will be set point for Taylor. To serve will be Julia Fahey. Block back, and that will take the set. Taylor will win it 25-20 as they switch sides. Big comeback by the Pilots, but it's like we said early on, there was a lot of unforced errors early in the set, and I think that one really came back to bite the Pilots. They played well down the stretch, but again, they just couldn't overcome that slow start.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to watch that in this next set as we go into the second one. It can be very crucial because if Taylor goes up 2 sets, it can definitely devastate us and mess with their mind. So I think if we just run right off the bat in the set before we started, we're outside here just killing into the ground, and we get a good lead above them like they did to us, I think we'll come up with this victory.
I mean, I think if you're the Pilots, you got to be a little disappointed with the unforced errors, with some of the communication issues, but the way that set ended, I think you have to have some hope heading into the second set, because they did. They were on a furious comeback. They were down 20-10, 21-11. They got it to just a 5-point loss, and so being able to claw back into it, I think that gives you a lot of confidence moving forward. And we've already seen it. I think these teams are very evenly matched, aside from the Pilots' slow start. I think that these two teams, we could easily have a 5-setter on our hands here tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. The standings prove it for themselves. 8-5 and 8-6, correct? Yeah. Tonight will definitely determine who the better of the two are, I believe. But yeah, no team tonight is better than the other. I think we're gonna have a great match.
Well, it's really critical for the Pilots to get this victory. And not only do you never want to lose on your home court, but with the loss tonight, that would put them not only behind Taylor in the standings, but they would also be down a tiebreaker as far as heading into the conference tournament. You still never want to be there. And we just want to remind, for all you folks at home, we're here on the Bethel Sports Network. We're going to be right back here, same place, same time, Friday night. Bethel is going to be taking on Lord's University. Not a conference match, break from conference play, but absolutely another measuring stick for the Pilots. Lord's University out of Sylvania, Ohio. The Grey Wolves are coming in. They are undefeated, ranked 17th in the NAIA national ranking. So absolutely a huge matchup going to be here Friday night, Joshua. You love playing those out-of-conference matches against great teams because you can really see where you stack up yourselves.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sometimes it's better to play people outside your conference so you don't have that mindset of you have to win this in order to get to the national conference. Sometimes I think it's even better to play outside teams that are stronger than you.
Yeah, absolutely. You love those games. We'll do a little football reference here. It's that non-conference schedule at the beginning of the season. You get down to the end of the season, maybe some teams kind of vying for position. Who did you play out of conference? How did you look against the rest of the country? And I think that'll be big. Some stats for all of you at home for the first set. Sammy Leach led the team in kills with 4, and all 4 of those we talked about were those quick hits. They were not set up big kills. They were those quick little dumps into open zones, and you talked about how great she is at that, how critical that is for the Pilots. Zoe Wolfenbarger had 3, and Cassie Sears had 2. So Cassie Sears absolutely stepping up at times they needed it. Sammy Leach also leading the team in assists at 8, but of course that is nothing new for the Pilots. Setter of the week for the Crossroads League now 4 times. As we set up here, the second set getting underway. Taylor did take the first set, 25-20. Pilots need a W here. They need to get going in the right direction. Court for the Pilots to start this set is going to be Zoe Wolfenbarger, Sammy Leach, Peyton Alexander, Cassandra Williams, Remy Swoverlin, and Veronica Dombrowski. And we saw that big block that she had. That's so huge to have a 6-foot-tall person at the front of the net. You're not going to find many girls with that amount of height in this league. And I think that's just got to be just a huge weapon for the Pilots.
Oh, definitely. If you can utilize that on every block, every chance that you have, you'll definitely have a stronger chance than someone who say is 5'5" or 5'6". Like with the first serve, Kristen Mitchell.
There it is again for the 5th time tonight, that quick hit from Sammy Leach. It just seems there's no real way to defend that because you don't want to give up an open net for a big hit, but there she is, as good as she is at that. She can just dump it into those open spots in the back of the court. And there is the 6-footer for Taylor in her own right. Does not want to be forgotten here tonight. Casey Allen, the senior out of Kendallville. Big hit to tie this at 1.
Yeah, that was a great hit considering she could see the spots that were open and utilize that for her team.
Good recovery by Sammy Leach, and Wolfenbarger just can't get it over.
Yeah, once again, a simple error that could be fixed and could make this game come out with a win.
About halfway through that volley, we saw back and forth, a lot of one hits, just back and forth over the net, and that's something you never want. You want to take advantage of all 3 of your hits. And another big kill from number 5, Casey Allen. Lighten it up here to start this second set, and it's a 3-1 lead early for Taylor. And it's right on the line for an ace. That is number 12, Julia Fahey. That time, Allen doing it a little bit differently. A nice soft tap just over the blockers, and the Pilots could not get there. And that time, an error by Taylor. And, you know, we talked about the quick hit from Sammy Leach just knocking it over, but when you get one of your killers up at the net and they have that soft little tap over, that's just got to be terrible to defend.
Oh yeah, definitely. When that happens and it just hits your hand as a blocker and it rolls down, you have to have that quick instant reaction to make sure you bump it in the air and get it high enough so your setter can grab it.
It's much like a changeup in baseball. You got a pitcher throwing as fast as he can every time, and you're setting up for that, you're waiting for that, and they throw that off speed, and you're just not ready for that slow pace coming at you.
Yeah, that's when your focus has to come in really strong. Expect the unexpected in this game. This is a very smart, strategic game.
In the meantime, Pilots get the serve back, down 3-5. Sammy Leach on the serve. A big hit sent right back, and Casey Allen lighting it up in this second set. She has accounted for 5 of Taylor's 6 points. Dombrowski off the top of the net. This is looking much like the start the Pilots had in the first set. You got to correct it right now. You can't get yourself down double digits.
Yeah, if this continues, I believe Coach Elmer will call a timeout soon just to make sure his team stays in that focus.
Nice save there by Swoverland, and it's sent back. Casey Allen in on the play again. It's nice to see, though, they got a big block on one of her hits. Blocked back, saved by Sammy Leach. Long volley here. Who wants it more? Swoverland, Leach, Alexander can't put it home. And just into the corner. Timeout, Kevin Ulmer, 9-3. And those are just killers. Those long volleys, you've got to come away with those points.
Yeah, it was good to see the freshman Peyton stepping up, though. I believe I seen 4 hits on that volley, so that was good to see that. We just have to make sure we land those down to the ground.
Yeah, every kill the Pilots went for on that volley, just Taylor was able to get at least a finger on it. There was no real forceful hits by the Pilots in that volley.
Yeah, sometimes like we talked about before, even just the foot down and making sure that ball hits a spot where you're not going to expect it. If you can hit the corners or even the perfect line all the way down, especially these cross-court hitters like Peyton, if you can make sure that goes to the far corner like Taylor's doing to us, we'll definitely step up, move this score back up, and bring it to a tie game very soon.
Well, we're seeing that happen in Taylor's favor as we get it over. We're not getting it to a spot that makes them move. And Casey Allen in the second set, she has had as many opportunities as she wanted in any position that she wants them, and she's taken full advantage.
Right, Taylor's very lucky to have her as one of their hitters, considering she's dominating every time she gets the ball. She's had it, even if Bethel brings it up, sometimes it's been tricky for us to bring it back.
Senior having a senior moment. Not something you'll see too often out of the Pilots, seeing as they only have one senior. This is a very young team. Now the senior they have, Veronica Dombrowski, very good in her own right, but a very young team, and sometimes that leads to some unforced errors. A big hit. Wow. That's how you want to come out of a timeout. They didn't do that either of the 2 times in the first set. That time Zoe Wolfenbarger got exactly what she wanted and put it home.
Yeah, now if we can just keep that going, we're going to move this game to a big win soon.
Aaron Carlos on to serve for the Pilots.
Great serve.
Just gets it over. What a play. And nice job. Cassie Sears stepped up, got it back over, and then Wolfbarger with the block on Casey Allen.
It was fun to watch that volley because Bethel stood up very good and communicated strong, even when the ball came over after that long hit.
A little long for Zoe. Gets this back to a 10-5 advantage for Taylor. Libero Alex Reel on to serve. Good idea there. Block back. And a big kill. It is now 11-5. Now we heard some grumblings here from the crowd. Josh, what did you see on that?
Well, Taylor definitely, when they hit that, he was very close. That's only a ref can choose that call where it depends on whether Bethel hit the ball or not. Only he can see that. Sometimes the fans get a little angry. They don't know how close it can be.
And a nice serve out of Reel. And the Pilots are reeling. Another big hit from Cassie Sears. But right back at him. Number 10, Becca Gehrig. And Taylor is starting to put it to him. The Pilots got to get going, and right now. That might be just what the Pilots needed. They catch a break on the long serve.
Yeah, definitely having the dominance for the serve can quickly get your point.
Good effort from Erin Carlos, but she couldn't keep it in, and it goes right back to the Trojans. That will sail along. We're seeing a lot of chances for a lot of the Pilot hitters, but they just can't seem to get it past the blockers that Taylor is throwing at them.
Yeah, they need to make sure they're hitting that ball down and make sure they're snapping their wrist. They've got great power on our team and great outside hitters, like we said earlier.
Nice serve there from Peyton Alexander. And that will go to the Pilots. And a big hit from number 14, Rachel Buma. The Grand Rapids product sending it home, and Coach Kevin Ulmer wants a timeout.
You know, Ethan, I don't blame him for calling that timeout. Our girls are definitely starting to fall apart, and this victory is not coming very good for our side right now. Hopefully he can put some sense into them, and we can go back in with a stronger look at this.
It seems right now, just again, like we talked earlier, communication, some lackadaisical play. You want to get out there, you want to be fired up. You can handle losing, but it's when you lose because you're killing yourself. You can live if you go out and you play and the other team outplays you. But right now, the Pilots aren't being outskilled by Taylor. They're just not as mentally tough as Taylor. They're making some mistakes, and they got to get back at it. They got to want this one more than Taylor does.
Yeah, they got to remember this game right here determines a lot for the conference. If we lose this, Taylor moves right ahead of us.
I'm sure Coach Ulmer reminding his ladies of some of those facts, trying to get them fired up to get back out here. Here we are, second set. Taylor leads 1-0. And in this set, they lead 15-8. And right there might be what they needed. Cassie Sears sends one home, 15-9. wet spot on the court we're trying to take care of. That was a huge hit by Cassie Sears.
Yeah, definitely. She's stepping it up like I haven't seen her in a very long time. It's good to bring that spirit out of someone when you know this game can be won by either team. I think it makes her a stronger player mentally.
Remy Swolverlin going to serve now for the Pilots. Quick hit there. And it's sent home. Booma. And Dombrowski got over her head on the set, and she just couldn't come back and get it. And blocked right back at her. We haven't said her name in a few minutes, but Casey Allen getting right back into the thick of things. And there she is again. Block on the last point, big kill on this point. It is 19-9 in favor of the Trojans. That time, Cassandra Williams didn't even give the Trojans a chance to block it right into the net. Now 20-9. Miss hit there for the Trojans. That's Jessie Arbarkle.
That was a chance for Bethel to step up if they want to get a victory this game.
They were down by this deficit in the first set, came back to make it closer, lost 25-20 as Kristen Mitchell sends it long back to an 11-point deficit. Big hit from Sammy Leach. It's that second hit like we talked about. That's been all of her kills tonight is on that second hit.
Yeah, that one definitely stood out from the others too.
She had some pace on that one.
Yeah, good speed.
We've talked about it all night. It seems every time the Pilots have one of those momentum plays that you think could get them going, they either have an unforced error or Taylor just has an answer for it. And we're seeing it here again in this second set. And it's called wide. Now 23-11. You're to the point now where you just need to salvage some pride for yourself at the end of this set, heading into the third set. Most likely going to be facing a 2-0 hole where you need to win 3 in a row, and you don't want to go into that third set on the heels of how this set has gone so far.
Yeah, Ethan, I agree. cannot discourage us at all. We need to make sure our defense stays up.
But there she is again, number 5, Casey Allen. The Taylor MVP for this set. The Pilots have had no answer for Allen. Wolfenbarger letting some frustration out with that hit.
Yeah, there was definitely power behind that one.
Gets it back to 24-13. Katie Easter on the serve. And that will end it in the second set, 25-13. And that is not the response Kevin Ulmer wanted out of the Pilots. Josh, 2-0 hole, got to win 3 in a row. I think we've talked about plenty where it starts, but why don't you let the folks at home know what you're thinking here the Pilots need to do.
Well, I think most of the fans at home may be wondering how Taylor is so good tonight. However, Bethel to be exactly the same. They just have to have that mentality that Taylor has right now. Making sure that we're continually to move the ball at a fast pace, making sure it's not sloppy. That's one thing we're doing is we're trying to move so quick, but we're not keeping our head focused. We're just hitting the ball wherever we hit it, we hit it.
When we talked about it, it seems that every time the Pilots have a chance to get a big kill, to get a big hit, there's a Taylor or 2 Taylor blockers there. They get a finger on it, they deflect it. It's not the speed you want. It's very easy to let them set their offense back up. And in that second set,
Yeah.
Casey Allen.
The moments that we are playing good, Taylor steps up, and that's what we need to make sure we do.
Well, earlier this week, folks, we had a chance to sit down with head coach Kevin Ulmer. He talked about some expectations, some goals, some surprise players this year. We have that interview for you now.
I think that we're in a position where we can still win our conference. We've got to have some really good games here to finish up the season, but the expectation at the beginning of the year was to compete for that, and we're in a position to do that, so that's good. Offensively and defensively, I think we have some really specific goals for our team that we communicate with them quite a bit. And we're not necessarily hitting the mark there, and so that's part of why we're in contention, but we're going to have really good games to kind of finish it out. One of our specific goals that we talk about quite a bit is kills per set. We need to be around 13 kills per set to be competitive in the NAI, so that's something we talk about. We also talk about having 2 blocks per set. We talk about having a pretty good hitting efficiency, so something around 175 to 200 in hitting efficiency for our team each set and at the end of the match. And then we talk about specific goals for each of our players to get us to that point. We obviously collectively need to equal those goals, and each individual has goals kind of associated with the main goals. So it's kind of more complex than you think.
Yeah.
We have lots of versatility, so we've got players that can do a lot of different things. We can use them in a lot of different places. We have subs, we have kids that can back us up. Somebody's not having a good game, we can sub somebody in and hopefully make a change there. And so everybody's pretty competent in their position to be able to step into the game in mid-game and take over as their position needs. So that's very helpful for us to be able to have lots of options. As far as weaknesses go, I think that's also kind of one of the weaknesses, is that we have to kind of depend on people to come off the bench a lot of times instead of getting consistent play from all of our athletes. And if it were a little bit more consistent, we probably wouldn't have the need to sub as much and to use as many personnel as we do. Chemistry has been really good. Yeah. I mean, even since I've been here, this is my 4th season, and it's really not ever been a question for our group. They just kind of find a way to make it important, in the group, and we've got 7 freshmen this year, so that was something we talked about quite a bit. Was, we had 8 returners and 7 freshmen, so it's a pretty mixed group there as far as new and returning, and so there was a real important drive for us initially to build good relationships and make sure that we're communicating effectively as a team, so that we're not going to have issues with the drama that can creep up on a team. Amanda Brinkman, who most likely will not play on Wednesday, she just had a concussion, but she has come out of a backup role into a starting position this year and really stepped into her own. She's had 4 elbow surgeries in the past 2 years, so this is her first full year playing, and so it kind of hurts that she's out with a concussion right now, but just really stepped up her game and had to overcome quite a few obstacles in order to be successful, and she's done that this year. She's been a really important impact player for us from every match, and I think teams are having to game plan around her a little bit more than we had anticipated. So that's for sure one. And then Kristen Mitchell, I would say, is another one. She's our freshman libero, and she just kind of does everything really well, and so it's been good to see her do that and to kind of take the reins of that role and run with it.
Awesome. Well, folks, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that interview with head coach Kevin Ulmer. He's nice enough to sit down with us. We're back here. The Pilots facing a 2-0 hole. And, Josh, we talked about it. They just got to get going. You just got to start getting some fire, some intensity, some better communication, as we talked about. We just want to remind everybody at home, you're watching us here on the Bethel Sports Network, and Friday night we're going to be right back here, same place, same time, Lourdes University, undefeated and 17th ranked Lourdes University. We talked about it earlier. That's a measuring stick, and obviously you want to play better than you have tonight, but every game is a new game. Every game is a chance to come in and get a big victory, and that would certainly be kind of a season-defining win for the Pilots if they could pull that off. An undefeated Lourdes team, a ranked Lourdes team, that'd be really big for the Pilots.
Yeah, considering they are 17th in the nation, this would make us seem very strong as a team.
We also want to highlight here on the Bethel Sports Network, next Tuesday, the men's basketball team kicks off their season facing crosstown rival IUSB. It should be a fun time. It's always a fun time when the Pilots get the season going, especially that rivalry going on. Pilots, big things expected. I talked to Coach Mike Lightfoot today, and he's very excited about this team. He thinks this team has a lot of promise, replacing some big pieces last year. For you Pilot fans, you remember the great Matt Schaus and Zach Miller. That was a fantastic duo and looked to really just kind of retool, not rebuild. And so we're very excited to bring you that next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock at home here on the Bethel Sports Network. And here we go, Josh, as we move into this third set. What do we got to do? There has to be some answer, because I'm telling you right now, and I hope the folks at home can see this, Taylor is not 25-13 better than the Pilots. Taylor is not 2-0 better than the Pilots. There has to be an answer.
Yeah, I definitely think Coach Ulmer is in the locker room talking to the ladies right now, telling them exactly what we've been talking about. It's very clear. The fans can see it too. The people at home can see it. They're lacking in several areas, and as far as serving, we can fix that easily. As far as our hitting, we can fix that easily. And blocking, we fix it easily. It's all human errors that we're just doing.
Absolutely. And I think the thing I noticed myself, I'm not the volleyball expert that you are, but just communication. You just got to be able to talk. You got to get everybody on the same page, moving together, hitting together, and I think blocking is huge. We watched Taylor just block everything that we sent their way, and in the meantime, they're just firing kill after kill towards us. So we got to get up, we got to get tall, and some stats for the folks at home. I mean, we said her name plenty of times in that second set. Casey Allen for the Trojans, 5 kills, 2 blocks. The Pilots just had no answer for her. Her alone made that the blowout that it was. Taylor would have won, but she really put it over the top for the blowout. And for the Pilots, Zoe Wolfenbarger, 3 kills. Sammy Leach, 2 more kills. She's having a fantastic night, 4 more assists. But it can't be just Sammy. I mean, you called it early on. She was the player to watch. But especially in a sport like this, so much movement, so much talk needed. It can't just be one player. And right now, Sammy Leach doing a lot, but she's got to get some help from the people around her.
Yeah, the team can definitely see that. Sammy's only in the front most of the time, so that back row has to step up and make sure they get the ball to her. And the outside hitters have to respond. Every time she sets that ball, they got to be quick. We're going to make sure we're also staying on our feet. I've noticed that we're being very flat-footed. Our girls are coming too close to the front, and they're setting it and spiking it right to the back. We've got to make sure we're fast enough to get back there.
Well, here we go, folks, getting ready to start this third set. Again, the Pilots facing a 2-0 deficit. They lost the first set 25-20. Lost the second set 25-13. And here it goes, do or die for the rest of the night. Pilots got to take these next 3 sets to get out of here with a W.
Here we go. Hopefully everything that Coach Homer said in that locker room sticks with them.
Pilots going to get the first serve here in this third set.
Definitely looking for a quick lead.
Yeah, that's been the killer. That's what's led us to these blowouts here in these first couple times. And I apologize, I misspoke. Taylor getting the first serve. But it's been the slow starts. They get down early and they have nowhere to go after that. Big block, and they got it back over. Nice save from Wolfenbarger. First point to the Pilots.
Yeah, that was impressive. It looks like they're already starting out listening to what Coach Homer said.
Aaron Carlos now to serve.
There's that block we've been waiting for all game.
We get the second opportunity and take full advantage to tie this at 1. Right there, big hit. And that gives the Pilots a 2-1 lead. Right on the line.
Fans are definitely angry from that one, but like I said earlier, the refs know what's best.
Just one of those things you just got to play through. As Taylor ties it at 2.
Very smart, very smart.
Cassie Sears, that play we talked about in the second set, taking a little bit off it, just tapping it over, and it rolls right down off the Taylor block. A big hit. Number 1, Alyssa Bloom, sending it home for the Trojans. Blocked right back at Cassandra Williams. couldn't get it back up in the air. Taylor leads 4-3. Tough play there by the Pilots. They call a double hit. That'll be a point to the Trojans. 6-3 here early in the third set as Taylor's going for the sweep.
Still very early though. Either team can get back up.
Nice play there just to get it over by Cassandra Williams. Get the Pilots back serving, and it will be Remy Swoverlin to serve. Big hit! Number 5, Jocelyn Bollinger. First time we've called her number tonight.
It's good to see a fresh face starting to stand out from the crowd.
Right back comes Taylor, though haven't called her name yet tonight, but maybe that's something Coach Ulmer needs. He needs someone else to step up because so far it hasn't been working.
Yeah, as usual, starters are playing all right, but it seems like some of the other ones are coming up and starting to look a lot better.
Sammy Leach went for a big hit, had it blocked back. Trojans here in the third set. Seems to be some question in the rotation would be my guess for what they're talking about.
Yeah, it seems like there may have been a mix-up with who came on the court and who left the court.
All sorted out now. 7-5 Trojans. Number 10, Becca Gehrig on to serve. Nice block. And that will go to the Pilots. Bollinger getting a lot of chances here in this third set.
Yeah, this may be the victory that we're looking for in this game. I see very good chances right now. If we can capitalize on what we're doing and keep moving forward, we're going to win.
Right now, here we are, 7-6. Pilots trail. In this set, they also trail 2-0. Have to win this one to keep moving forward. If the Pilots are going to win tonight, it's going to be a 5-set thriller. All starts right here, right now. And that is in, on the line. And there she is, Casey Allen. Killed the Pilots in the second set, and she wants to get right back at it, and Coach Ulmer wants a timeout. Josh, this has been the point each of the first two sets, around this 10-point mark. is when the Trojans have really started to balloon their lead each of the first 2 times. And I think Coach Ulmer sees that, he recognizes that, and he wants to make sure that these ladies know that this is the point they've kind of folded the first 2 sets. They need to get going right here, right now.
Yeah, that was very smart for the coach of the Bethel Pilots. They need to know right now that it's not going to be like the last 2 sets. If they can control what they're doing, keep playing the same, they will win. Taylor looking good, as always. Bethel looks a lot better than before, though.
As it sits right now, a 4-point lead for the Trojans, 10-6 here in the 3rd set. We've talked about it a bunch tonight. It's a crucial matchup. You always want to be playing at home, and the Pilots certainly are in the hunt to do that in the first round of the Crossroads League tournament. A loss here would not end those hopes, but it would certainly be a setback. That will go to the Pilots, a double hit. Sammy Leach serving. And that time for Casey Allen. When you're on a hot streak, it just seems like everything's working. She was off balance, barely got a hold of that one, but it went where there were no Pilots, and it's a point for Taylor. Big hit. Peyton Anderson. Taylor. And that will go out. Some fans calling for a tip. Refs did not see it that way, and right back they come with an ace. All of a sudden, the Pilots trail 14-8.
I think you're right, Ethan. Bethel's definitely falling apart that spot. They always keep falling apart out. Hopefully it'll stop right here.
Came very close to keeping that in, just couldn't. Laura Craig with the serve, and she serves it long. Brings it back to a 6-point game for the Pilots. Katie Easter subbing in to serve. And that will be another point for Taylor. Kristen Mitchell coming in. And Kevin Ulmer wants to talk this one over. Well, here we go, Josh. It's do or die now. You're trailed by 7. Taylor wins this one. Night's over.
And remember, not only that, though, the conference is big. I mean, we lose this and we go straight down in the conference. We got to make sure we win this set. This can mean everything to us.
A loss here drops us from 3rd place to a tie for 4th. And 4th place, you still get that home game, but you don't want to have it come down to tiebreakers. You don't want to be in that position. You want to be in the best position you can. And with a loss here, as we said, it's not over. The chase is not over. After tonight, they still have 5 more matches. Now, this Friday is not a conference match, but they still have conference matches left and chances to move up. And let's see here, Coach Ulmer kind of getting in their face during that timeout, trying to get them fired up. We'll see if that works. Last couple timeouts, they've come out with one good play and then haven't been able to sustain it, so we'll see if they can get that going.
Yeah, that fiery instinct from Coach Ulmer will definitely help. And sometimes you got to use that aggression and that force of fire to build your team back up. Especially now, they seem very discouraged when they're playing.
And Peyton Anderson hits the antenna. Pilots trailing by 8 here in the 3rd set. Cassie Sears with another big hit. She's had a few of those tonight. She's really had a nice night. You hope that maybe that's finally the play to spark the Pilots. They got to have it right now. You don't want to get down by much more than 7 at this point in the game. Coach Ulmer not happy with the no call there. The Pilots gutted it out, though. We've said it all night, whether you agree or disagree. The girls on the court got to keep playing. They did. They got the point. 11-17 now. And right back come the Trojans. And that's just kind of what we're talking about. It seems that when the Pilots go for those big hits, it gets deflected right to a Trojan player, whereas even when the Pilots get up to block it, it gets through the block and ends up on the ground.
Yeah, we got to make sure that we're not just going up for a simple block. We need to make sure that we're blocking the ball, actually. We've got to put our hands in front of it, see the way their bodies turn so we can turn ourselves that way.
And Cassie Sears yet again. She has had a fantastic night tonight.
I definitely think she's one of the ones we underestimated tonight. Definitely starring out tonight, I believe.
Nice save there by Remy Swovelin. Got to get it over here. A nice save by Kristen Mitchell. Tipped over the top. And right now, Taylor can do no wrong. Coach Kevin Ulmer all out of timeout, so all he can do at this point is sit and watch and hope his girls get on a hot streak. And Sammy Leach, that quick hit, as her secret weapon. She's used it very effectively tonight. Kristen Mitchell now to serve. Pilots trail 19-13 here in the 3rd set. Bollinger hits it a little long. Haley Harrell here to serve. And she hits it right into the net, gives the Pilots a free point. Sammy Leach will handle the serving duties now for the Pilots.
Sammy very consistent in her serves tonight. Hopefully she can make sure she stays that way.
Nice block. Wolfenbarger getting tall for that one, sending it back. Pilots trail by 5 now. That one will go long. Pilots have cut it to 4. They made a pretty ferocious comeback in the first set. It fell short. Can they get this one? And into the net it goes. 3-point game.
Bethel is starting to look really good right now.
You would have to expect sooner or later, if this keeps up, a timeout coming from the Taylor coaching staff. Sammy Leach has her team on a roll. Gets it back over. And that will go to the Pilots. It's a 2-point game, and there's that timeout from the Trojan coaching staff. Great comeback from the Pilots right here. And Josh, what have they been doing right to finally get back in this one?
Well, they have done exactly what we have been saying. They're making sure there are no serve errors. They are stepping up when they get to that line. The girls in the back are bringing up to Sammy Leach. Definitely impressed right now.
Absolutely. And we talked about coming out of that last timeout, Coach Ulmer trying to get that fire in their bellies, trying to get them going. And it seems like they finally responded. Each of the first 2 sets, they just couldn't get it back. And now a 2-point game, they're absolutely in this. Can they get the 3rd set? Can they keep the night alive?
Yeah, I can see either way going tonight. We can go into a 4th set and the 5th set, or we can end it right here. We just got to make sure for Bethel that we go to the next couple sets. Just keep playing the way we're playing, and we're going to end up with a win.
Well, here we are. Like we said, this is the decisive set. The Trojans won each of the first 2. They're trying for the sweep, but the Pilots have made a ferocious comeback. Now down just 20-18 here in the 3rd. Casey Allen's kill deflected, sent back over. And a double hit, it's a 1-point game.
I know the fans at home must be impressed considering the way Bethel's playing right now. This is the team that we know is ranked in the conference. Taylor definitely looking a lot frustrated right now.
Casey Allen showed that frustration, loaded up, and she sent it way out the back end. The Pilots have tied it.
Yeah, I believe that's the first time we've seen Casey actually do something like that this entire game. Very surprising, but it can happen when you get frustrated like that.
Just gets it over. Sammy Leach leaving it all on the court right now. Blocked back, still saved. We got a great volley going on here. Bowling her a lot of chances. Another save.
This is exactly why they are
the one
tight
you want to
teams.
use. That's it, and the Pilots lead. What a volley, and Peyton Anderson put it away. 21-20.
Yeah, that's when you want your freshmen on the team to stand up. Coach Ummer definitely taught his freshmen how to play good volleyball. Definitely on the collegiate level. First time in this part of the game that we've seen Bethel playing as good as they are.
That is 8 in a row for the Pilots. And the Trojans finally end what was a dominant run with Sammy Leach serving.
This is the point of the game where Bethel is definitely fired up. What do you think, Ethan?
I think they finally responded. I think Coach Ulmer finally got in their heads. And that serve is out right back to the Pilots. I think that's what it is. He called that last timeout. He told them to get going. They didn't necessarily come out of the timeout all that great, but something finally clicked. They were down 20 to 13. Sammy Leach got the serve back, and she just rattled off 8 in a row. Now the Pilots lead 22-21. And a mistake right back. It was called out. It was very close. And it's now Laura Craig on the serve. They come together, hit straight up, got to get it over on this one.
Playing a little sloppy, let's go.
And Casey Allen comes right back. Well, she gave the Pilots a point with one mistake, but she was not about to give them a second. She cocked back and let them have it that time. Nice save there, Aaron Carlos. Good save by Sammy Leach. And a mishit by Cassie Sears has pushed the Pilots to the brink. Here we go, 24-22. Match point for Taylor.
This is when you bring that bottom of everything, you bring it out, everything you had. Your last breath, you got to push for it right now.
Oh. Katie Easter just served it long, and that will end the Pilots' comeback, 25-23. Josh, we said it all night. It was the slow starts. It got them then in the third set. They made a furious comeback, but just couldn't get it over the edge there at the end. And that serve goes long, but a great effort, I think, by the Pilots. Not necessarily going to be happy with a loss ever, but you can be proud of the way they played down the stretch in that third set.
Yeah, Ethan, Coach Ulmer is probably very pleased with that final set. However, I don't think he's pleased, however, the game went the sets, and the stats are going to prove that for sure.
No, absolutely. You gotta be able to bounce back. As we said, the Pilots are going to turn right around. They're going to play again Friday night. We're going to have that for you here on the Bethel Sports Network. As we've said, they're facing undefeated 17th ranked Lourdes University coming in here Friday night. But that's the nature of college athletics. You don't have a lot of time in between games. You got to turn right back around 2 days from now, face a very good team in Lourdes. They got to be ready to rock and roll. That's a great team coming in Friday night. But I think you can take some of that energy you had here in the third set, hopefully start with that on Friday night, get going, what will be a big matchup for them. And of course, another big game we have coming for you on the Bethel Sports Network. Next Tuesday, we're going to have the men's basketball team's first game of the season against IUSB. That's going to be here at home, 7 o'clock, as is the volleyball game Friday night. So 2 big matchups coming to you on the Bethel Sports Network. We hope you will join us. Again, we thank you for joining us tonight. For Josh Rodak, I'm Ethan Klein, signing off.